This is Steve Martin, Master Class. This is lesson 21. This is a case study of a play he just written, Steve Martin just written, and he wanted to take us through the process of how he gets to a point where he thinks it's done. That's an interesting thing because I've done quite a few of these videos and I never feel that they're done. I just feel that I hit a point where I have to upload. So it's nice to know that someone of that caliber actually can hit a done point, which is cool, and maybe that I shouldn't worry as much. I should just go ahead and do what I need to do. That's why I like my YouTube videos. I do one a day, and every time I don't have to, if I thought about it too much, then it would be, then I wouldn't put anything out. So if that's the case, I can actually just keep producing and not have to, because otherwise, yeah, you just think it to death. He starts out giving an explanation as to how to give exposition. Exposition is explaining, and a lot of times you get into a rhythm and you forget that your audience doesn't know what's going on and they can't read your mind. So having exposition is really important. He talks about how taking the ideas that come with taking the ideas that you think the audience should know, and instead of just saying, you know, today's Thursday, it's 5:30 p.m. Houston, Texas. Instead of that, you just give context and you just give everything organically, rather than just give straight exposition. You actually just say, it's for instance, it's like I just said, it's Thursday here in Houston. You can say, well, this is the first Astros game today. We hope that, you know, the Astros are doing well. I think they can actually pull this game off. Somebody who knows what's going on, and that's even too vague because somebody who doesn't follow sports wouldn't know that. But it's nicer to get to a point where you can give information to the audience, which the audience needs in order to figure out what's happening, because otherwise then you're just wasting everybody's time. But to give information organically and make it part of the story and make it so it's just natural. You're not forcing it, it just comes out and people will have an idea of what you're talking about. And also, you gather the information. The audience gathers the information and can put it all together in their heads. It's nicer that way typically, especially if you're. I mean, that just comes with practice, being a good storyteller and having all of the information just come up organically, and somewhat easy to follow. There's certain things that I always get lost with, as far as there's too much information coming in, or there's not enough just exposition as far as what's happening. I know there's times where you just have to give context, and the context will be, you just do an exterior shot or something like that. That's how you tell, well, I'm going to be here and I'm doing this, or something along those lines. Establish the premise early. It seems pretty basic, but you'd be surprised. You just kind of meander and don't get to a point when you should just try to give as much as possible right out of the gate, so that way everybody's on board and you start and no one has to catch up. That's a big thing. Especially if you have a lot of characters, you introduce them, you introduce what they're doing, you give an idea of what the person's going to be like in this piece, and you move forward as quickly as possible. A thing to do, I know I do it with these videos, I'll make an order. I'll just shoot and put everything down and grab all of my pieces and put them in the order that I think. Usually I just try to go in a linear fashion because I'm just not that good at it. So get all my pieces together and put them in the order that I want, and sometimes the order doesn't work right. Sometimes it's better to take different. We've talked about this with editing too, because this is a really important thing. How does your story flow? If your story doesn't have a flow to it, if your story doesn't make sense to people, then you're not doing your job as a storyteller. Because that's basically what you're trying to do. Tell a story, get it across, make it relatable or interesting or both, and have it so people will actually like it. Because then why bother if otherwise? No edit is too small. That's definitely true for YouTube videos. You can take out that extra 2 seconds of video or add that extra 2 seconds of video, and it does make a difference. In this case, he talks about changing 2 lines in his play, and that made it so that way a lot more wider of a breadth of audience can understand what's going on. I know that with YouTube, I try to make these videos as short as possible for the most part, just because I'm just boiling it down to its essence and giving you like the cook-off reel of information typically. But having those small pieces either put in or taken out do make a significant difference. Okay, that was Steve Martin, masterclass.com. This was lesson 21. So I've been doing these for the last few weekends. I only have a few more left, and I've enjoyed this class. Hopefully there's a playlist of all the different things that I've been doing, so I'll put them around here. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I'd appreciate it if you did, and I thank you for watching.